Hayes Carll is our guest at the 38th Songwriters Festival for WMOT Roots Radio. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for bringing the pup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Winnie. It's my traveling companion.
Oh, that's so great.
She was a rescue from the tornadoes in 2020. And, I thought it was my opportunity to get a dog, so we found her and thought she was a lab, but she kept growing. And turns out she's half Great Dane.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. How much does she weigh?
125 pounds, but that's kind of a rude question to ask.
Do I look fat in this?
I'm sorry, Winnie.
No, she's a big girl.
She is a big girl.
She's a big girl, and she's very loving and sweet.
Yeah, she is.
So.
We have a lot of body positivity talks, and yeah, she's very, very sweet.
So cool. And thank you for rescuing.
Well, it was a selfish move more than anything. I'd always wanted a big dog, and I'd never really had one, and I was finally off the road for a minute, forced off the road, but it was an opportunity to get a pup, and I'm so grateful.
Well, forced off the road, all of us, as we took to our quarters for quarantine.
Yeah.
And you've come out with a bang. You seem to be everywhere doing all kinds of wonderful things and partnering with great people. I, for one, am so happy that you and Band of Heathens got together.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, thank you. So I've known the Band of Heathens for a long time. I've known Gordy Quist. He grew up just down the road from where I did, and I've known him probably since 2002 or 2003. But I just was a fan of all theirs, and I'd done 2 tours over the years where they would open for me and then serve as my band. And I just got close with them. They became good friends, and they're total pros and extremely talented, and I just found myself really enjoying working with them. And we had set up a show in Luckenbach to do, and we ended up playing with each other, and just had such a great time that we thought, we kind of had a year without any major career things going on, and we just kicked around the idea of making music together. And so we thought, well, let's record a couple songs, and we did that, and we had a blast. And then we thought, well, let's maybe do a couple shows, and we did that. And we had a blast. So we made more songs, and it just kind of evolved into this. We made a record, and a band. So we're Hayes the Heathens, and it's just a separate thing from our individual careers. But when we went into it, Ed Jurdy said, just sort of as an ethos for the project, if it's not fun, we shouldn't do it. And that was so liberating for me, just to have fun playing music with no other consideration. It didn't have to represent me or what I'm thinking necessarily, and I got to be a member of a band for the first time in my life. I've never just been in a band. I've always been a solo guy or fronting a band. And that's the whole time, you're up there presenting that. And this, there's songs where they just hand me an electric guitar or tell me where to put my fingers, and I just get to stand around and look at the crowd and smile at people. And it's a completely different energy where I'm just having fun. And it's so liberating and freeing, and it's just been really good for me. So I love playing music with them. I love what we created, and I love performing with them. It's just a very positive thing for me.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
So there was supposed to be a birthday bash.
Yeah.
And then we got this freeze.
Yeah.
So I guess you're going to do it next year?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to start. My birthday's in January 9th, and I was hoping to make a weekend out of it this year, and so I was going to play the Ryman on Friday, or play the Opry at the Ryman on Friday, and then do my own show at the Brooklyn Bowl on Saturday. And the Heathens were going to be there, and I had a bunch of guests lined up.
I know.
Butch Walker and Caroline Spence and Courtney Marie Andrews and Aaron Lee Tasjan and on and on and on. It was so cool, and I was so excited about it. And then that freeze came. So I'm gonna do it next year's my 50th, and I'm gonna make a whole 3-day weekend. We're gonna just a chance for folks to come up and see Nashville and celebrate with me, and just it's kind of selfish, just throwing myself a party, but I figure I know a lot of my people have never been to Tennessee and would love to see Nashville and just everybody come together and have a good time. So
absolutely,
I want to make it an annual thing for myself.
Love that. Yeah. Count us in.
All right, cool.
And selfish, I would not say about you, because what you did instead.
Yeah, so the show got frozen out and or canceled because of the weather, and so we went back to we did a live stream like I did during the pandemic, and it was just to set up my house, and Charlie Worsham stopped by, the reigning CMA Musician of the Year. He lives in the neighborhood. Charlie. Yeah. So he just popped in and picked a little guitar. That was really fun. And Luke Moeller was there and played fiddle. And I just did a 3-hour show, and I had some of my guests send in videos. They were kind enough to send in a performance. So it was kind of like presenting a show, but we made it. We sent all the donations to California Fire Relief, and we raised over $7,000
awesome.
through that. So the people were extremely generous and sent in a lot of money, and so it was a bummer that the show got canceled, but we ended up getting to do something and in some ways reach a whole lot more people through being online and then do some good with it. So
and you're no stranger to disaster, it has to resonate with you, and
Yeah, I mean, my house washed away in a hurricane in 2010, I believe, and so I have some sense of what that is about. But I also was 26 and single, and it wasn't a fraction of what I imagined people with families and their whole lives kind of invested in a place, and to watch all that disappear is, it's just a whole other level. So heart goes out to everybody, but it's encouraging to see, whether it's North Carolina or Los Angeles or any place where you have these natural disasters, to see people stepping up and trying to contribute to their fellow, their neighbors or their countrymen, and so a lot of silver linings come out of what's a really tough time.
Yeah, no, for sure. What are you going to play for us first?
Well, I'll just do I'll do the title track to my last record. It's called "You Get It All," and it's just one of my favorite songs to play.
WMOT. Hayes Carll is our guest here for the 38 Songwriters Festival Sessions for WMOT Roots Radio. What a beautiful tune.
Thank you.
You write so elegantly, simply, but beautifully. I don't know how long it takes you to craft a song, but they just lay in the music so perfectly. It's really such an art.
It's a fun and frustrating process. And this year's been fun in that I finished several songs this year that I started in high school or college, or that I've been hanging on to for 30 plus years.
Wow.
And man, it's such a load off when you finally are like, oh my God, I can get this out of my life. I finally landed it. And then there's some songs that just come much quicker, and that's just give thanks for when that happens, and try not to
lightning bolt.
Yeah, it's just, they're few and far between, but yeah, like High was one of those that came pretty quick, and Beaumont, I remember sitting on the couch and just kind of noodling and finding a little melody there, and I thought, that's pretty, I want to write to that, and then for some reason the town of Beaumont popped up in my head, which one of my first songs ever was called Birthday on a Bus to Beaumont.
Wow.
I was really into alliteration in the 8th grade, and I still am, but I really went for it there. So for whatever reason, Beaumont seems to make lots of appearances in my music.
Tell me how quick it was to write Bible on the Dash.
Oh, yeah, that was a fast one. Corblund, my Canadian buddy, and had a chunk of that already, had the idea, and he came over to my house. I was living in Austin at the time, and he came over to the house, and we mostly finished it up, and then he sent me the final idea, and then I ended up flying up to Canada to sing it with him, and we made a duet, and then we went to Nashville and made a music video. It turned into a whole thing, and now here we are doing a whole tour. We did this Bible on the Dash tour, and so it's fun getting to work with. We've been friends for 25 years, and met in a poker game in Dauphin, Manitoba in 2005, and
of course.
it just became. He's a big history nerd. I am too, and we both love to gamble, and we both love guitars and songwriting. We just had a lot in common, and he's been a great friend and confidant over the last however many years, and just somebody to talk through. Not everybody fronts a band in a certain type of genre, and so it's great to have friends that you can relate to. What you're going through with them, and vice versa, and just talk it through.
Love it. New album coming too.
Yeah. I've got a new record. I haven't decided what it's called yet, but
that's really new.
But it's recorded, and Gordy Quist from the Heathens co-produced it with me. We did it down in his studio in Austin, and I'm excited about it. It's creatively, it just feels like covering ground that matters to me, and it's again, I'm just not arguing with it when things are in a flow. I'm just hanging on and trying to stick with it as long as I can. So that's kind of where I feel like I'm at right now.
Yeah, let the muse tell you what it needs to be. So, some of your music is kick up your heels, zany, fun, and then other parts of the stuff you write are really heartfelt and sentimental and romantic. And which side, or are we going to see it all?
Yeah, on this record, it's kind of like midlife crisis folk. It's a lot of just trying. It's reflection, but hopefully something that's not too navel gazy. Just trying to figure out life, like most of us. Like here's what's worked, what hasn't, but hopefully, and kind of putting in like mantras to myself, really, of reminders of what has worked and what hasn't, but hopefully, in a singable musical form that other people, I think, will relate to and connect with and be able to put on. But I may be the only one. We'll see.
Oh, no. I'm sure. That's the thing. We get to represent on the radio so many people that write from a personal perspective, but it becomes a universal, global, emotional connect for the audience.
Yeah.
And, our audience loves that, when they listen to every note when we do a show, they're not talking, they're not on their phones, they are actually absorbing, and they come to us afterwards and they're so thankful. And we are too.
Yeah.
We're so thankful to be able to have music from people like you that touches people.
Well,
somebody's got to do it.
I feel very blessed to get to do it and to, work through my stuff and then have people willing to listen, and it's a fun process, a rewarding thing. And so, yeah.
So you bouncing between Austin and Nashville a lot, or?
Yeah, I go down a lot. I live in East Nashville, and but I spend a lot of time in Austin. My son's down there. A lot of friends. Most of the Heathens guys are down there, and and it was home for a decade. But yeah, Nashville's where I reside, and I love it. It's the other day I was spending so much time in Austin. I thought, maybe I should move back here, and was thinking about it. And as soon as I got back to my house in Nashville, I thought, I'm going to stick around a bit. It's just such a great community, and the town itself I love. And I don't know. I don't know what the future will hold, but I know right now I feel really lucky to be where I'm at.
Well, it's such an incredible community of songwriters, and you have every other pursuit. You need a bus, you need a tour, whatever.
Every bit of it. And I've been going up there for 25 years, and it's just, I have a great community. And like you said, or the other day, Charlie Worsham just popped into my live stream, or whoever, being able to, there's just so many people there, and every bit of the creative process and the business part of things, the touring, the live performance, the recording, every bit of it. And it just feels not only nice to have access to that, but to be a part of that community. I feel like I'm a part of something, that we're all in it in one way or another. And to have infrastructure and support from radio or press or things like that, it all goes towards creating this, what it is, this community and family, and a place that supports and encourages creativity.
It's an ecosystem.
It is an ecosystem, and it's super important.
It's a really beautiful thing. And thank you so much for sharing your songs with us today.
Thank you for having me.
They are also beautiful things.
I appreciate it.
Hayes Carll for the 38 Songwriters Sessions for WMOT Roots Radio for 2025.